The following is transcribed.
Welcome to Condensed Bat-Supe. Now with 66% fewer superheroes than our regular podcast, which makes Condensed Bat-Supe even less nutritious, but still just as delicious. We're featuring episodes of the adventures of Superman without the caped crusaders. Tie on your capes for lots of cold feet, plenty of hypochondria, and lame excuses galore. In this edition of Condensed Bat-Supe, the Unity House story continues with the next 2 chapters of the Hate Mongers organization. This is Chapter 13, Superman Sets a Trap, as originally broadcast on May 2nd, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Today, as Jimmy Olsen reports his visit with the boss to Clark Kent, the Man of Steel realizes with grave concern the cunning of the fox they must not fail to trap.
Hi there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, did you ever know anybody like Leftover Larry? He's the sort of fella who never quite finishes the last bit of food in his dish. Well, Leftover Larry is certainly out of style these days, particularly when it comes to a bowl of Kellogg's Pep. Boy, think of the good eating he passes up. The crisp, golden toasted goodness in this sunny breakfast cereal. And think of the fine nutrition in every spoonful of Kellogg's Pep. Vitamin B1 and energy vitamins, more than twice as much as in sun-ripened whole wheat. Sunshine Vitamin D, too, your whole daily minimum need in every 1-ounce serving. And think of the fellas and girls, just like you, who need these good golden cereal grains, like the whole wheat in Kellogg's Pep, to help them grow up sturdy and strong. You see, gang, these children can't run and play as you do because they're hungry. And that's why we're sending grains across the seas these days. And that's why it's especially important for you to help guard against waste at your house. So when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, make sure there's no waste. If you pour your own cereal, pour it carefully. Tell the rest of your family to be careful, too. It's such an easy thing to do, and you'll be helping to feed fellas and girls all over the world who might go hungry.
And now, The Adventures of Superman. Playing the dangerous role of a young tough, Jimmy Olsen, cub reporter for the Daily Planet, has thus far succeeded in carrying out the details of Clark Kent's plan. A plan to learn the identity of whoever is behind an organized attempt to stir up racial and religious prejudice in the city of Metropolis. So well has Jimmy succeeded that he was granted an interview with the mysterious leader of the hate-spreading organization. As we continue now, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. At Clark Kent's apartment where he is making his headquarters, Jimmy gives Kent the startling details of the interview. Listen.
Into a room just off the foyer. It was fixed up like an office with a desk, a couple of chairs, a big safe, and some other stuff.
Never mind the furnishings. What about the man?
Well, I couldn't see him. He was standing behind a black velvet curtain at one end of the room.
Behind a black... Well, why?
He said his work was too important to let too many people know who he was.
Oh.
I tried to get him to tell me his name or come out from behind the curtain, but no soap.
What about his voice?
Well, it was kind of flat and hard.
Was it? Would you recognize it if you heard it again?
I think so. It was a mean voice.
Yeah, I shouldn't wonder. All right, Jim, now tell me what he said.
What didn't he say? Honest, Mr. Kent, I had all I could do to keep from ripping down that curtain and pasting him in the nose.
I know.
He never heard such stuff.
For instance?
Oh, all about how they were trying to get the Christians and the Jews to hate each other by telling them lies. He had the nerve to come right out and say that if you tell the Christians enough lies about the Jews and the Jews enough lies about the Christians, they'll get to believe them.
Yeah, sure. That's what Hitler said. Go on, Jim.
Well, he kept saying stuff like that, and I kept getting madder and madder. I knew I couldn't show it, so I held myself back. Finally, he said he was going to give me a job to do because Green, the lawyer, thought I was a smart boy.
Uh-oh, I was afraid of that.
You were afraid. He told me what the job was. I could hardly catch my breath.
What is it?
I'm supposed to go to an art gallery owned by a man named Klein, and I'm supposed to slash some of the pictures in the gallery with a razor blade.
What? Well, of all the dirty, disgusting
He
things.
said Klein made a big contribution to the Unity House Building Fund, and they were out to get him.
Oh.
Oh, here's a list of the pictures I'm supposed to cut up. 5 of them.
2 Rembrandts, a Rubens, a Franz Hals, and 2 that aren't familiar. You know what these pictures are worth, Jim?
No, what?
Well, the Rembrandts must be worth $50,000 to $100,000 apiece. Same with the Rubens.
Jeepers.
We've got to stop them, Jim, if it's the last thing we do. There's no end to a thing like this. From paintings, they'll go to people. They'll slash each one of us if we don't agree with them.
Yeah, but what are we going to do now? I'm in a spot. If I don't do the job he gave me, he'll know I'm the spot.
You'll do the job.
Leaping lizard, you mean I'm going to cut up all those pictures?
Oh, hardly. We'll double-cross them and still keep you in their good graces. In fact, you'll do this job so well that it may result in your getting to meet Mr. Rat face-to-face.
I don't see how I can do it.
This way. In the morning, we'll contact Mr. Klein, the owner of the art gallery, and have a talk with him. We'll tell him all about this.
And you think he's going to let me cut up his paintings?
Certainly not. The paintings won't be cut up. At least they'll only be cut up for publicity purposes, just so your man behind the curtain will think you've done the job.
Oh, I get it. We'll run a story saying the paintings were slashed, but actually they won't be.
Right. I'm sure we can get Mr. Klein's cooperation. Oh, one more thing before it gets too late. Was anything said about an attack on Rabbi Stone? You know, he's a member of the Unity House Committee.
No, why?
Well, I forgot to tell you this, Jim, but I got a call this afternoon from Father Sheehan. Seems Rabbi Stone received a letter warning him to resign from the committee or suffer the consequences. The letter said it was a last warning.
Well, when did he get the letter?
This morning. I just wondered whether maybe you'd heard anything about it.
No, not a thing. All I heard, and Muggs told me in the pool room, was the next one they were after was Mr. Murphy.
Oh?
He's a member of the committee, too. Muggs said they had a special job to do on him.
Oh, well, evidently they decided to save Murphy and go after Rabbi Stone. Hey, what time is it, Jim? I watched out.
20 minutes after 1.
Mm-hmm. Would Muggs be at the pool room now?
Yeah, I guess so. He hangs around there most of the night.
Are you too tired to take a run down and find out what you can about their plans?
No, I'm not tired.
Well, suppose you do that then, huh? At the same time, you can tell Muggs how you got out of jail. And, incidentally, let him take all the credit.
Okay. What'd I do with my cap?
Well, here it is.
Oh, thanks.
I'll get back as soon as you can, Jim. I'll wait up for you.
Okay.
And, Jim,
Yes?
in case I haven't told you, you're doing a swell job.
Come on in here, Olsen.
Okay.
I only got a minute because we're going on a job. Big boss fixed it for you to beat the rap, huh?
Yeah, thanks to you, Muggs.
Forget it. You see, it's like I told you. We got protection. We're working for smart guys. They don't fool around.
The lawyer took me up to the boss's hideout, Muggs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. How come the guy never shows himself? You see him?
Yeah. He always talks behind that black curtain.
Yeah, same with me.
What do you have to say?
Nothing much. I told him what a great guy you was.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks, Olsen. Well, I got to blow now. Me and a couple of guys got a job to do.
Well, how about taking me along?
Huh?
I ain't done a job with you guys yet.
Okay. Okay, come on.
What kind of a job is it?
We're going to mess up a Jew synagogue. Hey, Skinny, what's this? Joe, let's go.
Is this the same thing, Muggs? That kids' clubhouse stuff?
Yeah, the guy that runs the synagogue, guy by the name of Stone, he's on a committee for the joint.
What are we going to do?
Sneak in and bust up the synagogue.
Creeps.
What's the matter? You getting chicken hot?
No, but before I go with you guys, I think I better stop off in a drugstore
And what?
I got a pain in my stomach. Something I ate, I guess. I'll meet you guys at the place.
That's okay. We got time. We'll stop off at the drugstore with you and grab a Coke. Come on.
Again, caught in a trap. Unable to contact Clark Kent to tell him the attack on Rabbi Stone's synagogue is going to take place immediately, Jimmy dies 1,000 deaths as he follows Muggs and his young henchmen out of the pool room. The excuse that he has a stomachache and would like to stop off at a drugstore hasn't worked. What can he do? We'll know in a moment when we return for the tense and exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
You know, gang, old man Sun does a lot more for you than just make a suntan in summertime. Sure, he's the guy who makes vitamin D for you, the sunshine vitamin that helps you grow strong bones and teeth. And did you know that Kellogg's Pep has this in common with sunshine? That very same vitamin D effect of sunshine. Why, just 1 ounce of Pep gives you your whole daily minimum need of sunshine vitamin D, plus twice as much of an energy vitamin, B1, as sun-ripened whole wheat. And is it good? Why, Pep is loaded with golden toasted flavor, crisp and crunchy as can be. So it's easy as anything to clean up every last bit in your bowl. And that's extra important nowadays, you know, because the cereal grains, like the famous whole wheat in Kellogg's Pep, have been picked out to give nourishment to hungry children overseas. So here's what to do, gang. When Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, just make sure it's not wasted. If you pour your own cereal, pour it carefully and eat up every bit you pour out. Tell your younger brothers and sisters to be careful, too. That's your job in helping to take care of fellows and girls all over the world who are going hungry.
Informed that Muggs and his gang of young toughs are about to make an attack on a Jewish temple of worship, Gilson made a desperate attempt to get away from the gang to call Clark Kent. He complained of a stomachache and suggested he drop off at the drugstore to get something for it. But Muggs' reply was that they would all stop in with him and get a Coke. As we continue now, Jimmy and Muggs and 3 members of the juvenile gang are at the soda fountain of an all-night drugstore.
Okay, what'll it be?
Coke for us, and this guy's got a pain in his stomach.
Indigestion?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'll give you a bite card.
Okay.
That'll fix you up, Olsen.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hey, Bub, bring it down.
Thanks.
Down the hatch, go ahead.
Yeah.
That'll fix you up. It always does the trick, don't it, Joe?
Yeah, sure, every time.
Oh, I still got the pain.
Give it a chance.
More Coke.
Hey, drink up, you guys. We gotta get rolling. How much we owe you, Cap?
20 for the Cokes and a dime for the bite card.
There's $50. Keep the change.
Thanks, Bub.
Okay, let's go. Come on.
Hey, Muggs.
What's the matter?
I still got the pain. Maybe I better not go along with you guys. Maybe I better sit here and wait till it goes away.
Hey, Bub, maybe he's got appendicitis. I know a guy.
Who asked you?
Okay. That ain't my funeral.
You want to go see a sawbones, Olsen?
Oh, no. I don't need no doctor. All I got's a stomachache.
All right, you take it easy. We don't need you on this job anyway. Me and Leppy and Skinny and Joe can handle it okay.
You sure, Muggs?
Yeah, sure. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, Muggs. Thanks.
Forget it. Come on, guys.
Ahead of you, Muggs.
Hey, Bub, where's it hurt you in your stomach?
Uh-huh.
Your stomach, where's it hurt you?
Oh, it don't hurt so much anymore. I gotta make a phone call. Oh, boy. Thought I'd never get away from them. Mr. Kent's number? Oh, yeah. Metropolis 4320. 4320. Golly, I hope there's time to stop them. It's taken so long. Why doesn't he answer? I could call the police, but I'm afraid to without getting Mr. Kent's okay. Please, Mr. Kent. Please answer. Please.
With each passing moment as the phone in Clark Kent's apartment remains unanswered, Jimmy becomes more and more panicky. Muggs and his young hoodlums are on their way to Rabbi Stone's temple. Soon, not even the police will be able to stop them in this latest act of violence against not only a house of solemn worship, but against every decent human being who respects the rights of others to honor their God in their own way. The rat-like forces of religious hatred and intolerance are on the march, cloaked in darkness. Can Jimmy reach Kent, who, as we know, is Superman, in time to stop them? We'll know tomorrow when we hear the most exciting episode of this entire series, the episode entitled The Fight for Honor. So be sure to listen, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Lots of you kids have dogs, and I'll bet one of the things they enjoy most is a tug of war. Dogs seem to get such a kick out of using their strong teeth and muscles. Now, if you want to help keep your dog strong and husky, feed him Kellogg's Grow Pup dog food. It's just wonderful for dogs and has a good meaty flavor dogs like. There are 3 different kinds. There's Grow Pup Ribbon, Grow Pup Meal, and Grow Pup Pellets. Ask your mother to get Kellogg's Grow Pup today and see if your dog doesn't gobble it right away. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman.
This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
And now, faster than a speeding bullet, Condensed Bat-Supe proudly presents Chapter 14 of the Hate Mongers storyline, the episode titled The Fight for Honor, which was originally broadcast on May 3rd, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, as Jimmy Olsen tries desperately to reach Clark Kent, only a few minutes remain before Muggs and his gang will reach the synagogue of Rabbi Stone to strike another blow in their relentless campaign of terror.
Hi there, gang. Say, have you ever wondered why Mom is so glad when you clean up every last bit of your breakfast dish of Kellogg's Pep? Of course, it's a treat for you because Pep is loaded with sunny golden toasted flavor. But Mother's also thinking of the wonderful nutrition in this whole wheat flake cereal. Good whole grain food value, plus an energy vitamin B1, more than twice as much as in sun-ripened whole wheat. And vitamin D, your whole daily minimum need in every 1-ounce serving of Pep. Mom will tell you how important vitamin D is to help build strong bones and teeth. And here's something else that Mom has in mind when she urges you to eat every last crisp flake of Kellogg's Pep. She's thinking of fellows and girls just like you all over the world who are going hungry nowadays. And she knows the cereal grains have been picked out to help feed those children. And she knows how important it is for us not to waste any cereal anytime. So when she brings a package of Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, she opens it carefully, and she pours it carefully, too. And she urges you and your brothers and sisters to eat up all that's poured out. So take a tip from Mom, gang. Don't waste. Do your part to help feed those hungry fellows and girls all over the world.
And now, The Adventures of Superman. Battling an unknown enemy, a hidden underground organization attempting to spread the vicious poison of hatred and intolerance, Clark Kent, in his role of Superman, has enlisted the aid of Jimmy Olsen, cub reporter for the Daily Planet, to learn the identities of the Hate Mongers. Yesterday, as you recall, Jimmy discovered that another attack was about to be made on a member of the committee sponsoring an interfaith clubhouse and playground for neighborhood boys and girls of all races and religions. This time, the attack was to be made on a Jewish house of worship, the temple of Rabbi Stone, a committee member. From a drugstore phone booth, Jimmy tried desperately to reach Clark Kent, but there was no answer. As we continue now, the receiver glued to his ear, pleading aloud for some response from the dead instrument.
Please, Mr. Kent. Please answer. There isn't much time. They're on their way. Please answer. Oh, he's not home. He must have gone out, or else he's asleep and the bedroom door is closed and...
Hello?
Oh, Mr. Kent, Jeepers, where were you? The phone's been ringing for almost 5 minutes, and I was...
Whoa. Take it easy, Jim.
Take it easy. I can't take it easy. Muggs and his gang are on the way. They left here just before I started to call you. We've got to stop them, Mr. Kent. If we
listen
don't...
to me. I can't understand a word you're saying. Now, calm down and tell me what's the matter.
It's the rabbi. Rabbi Stone.
Yes, what about it?
Muggs and 3 of his toughs are on their way to Rabbi Stone's temple.
What?
They're going to break in and do all the damage they can.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. I was supposed to go along with them, but I made believe I had a stomachache so I could get to a phone to call you and tell you.
Where is Stone's temple? Oh, never mind, I know. On Clinton Street.
Yeah.
Do you know where he lives?
No, I don't, but...
I'll look it up.
What are you going to do, call the police?
No. This is a job for Superman.
Golly, you almost sounded like Superman the way you said that.
Huh? Oh,
Fortunate habit, I guess. Look, Jim, you better come on back to the apartment. I'll leave the key under the front doormat. Wait here for me. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Where are you going?
To get Superman.
Well, can't I come along to watch Superman give those guys their lumps?
Look, in the first place, that's not what he's going to do. And in the second place, you've got to keep in the background. You can't let Muggs suspect that you tipped me off.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, I'll see you later, then.
Okay, and Mr. Kent.
Yes?
If Superman does give them their lumps, tell him to park one on Muggs's nose for me.
Shame to have to wake him up at this hour of the morning, but it can't be helped. Seems to be a light in a rear room. Oh, here comes someone. A man, fully dressed. Could be the rabbi, except he's a little young. Oh, I'm sorry to disturb you, but...
Am I seeing things?
What? Oh, this costume. No, it's authentic.
Then you're Superman.
Guilty as charged. Are you Rabbi Stone?
Yes, I was working on a sermon. That's how I happened to be up this late.
Oh, I see.
Won't you come in?
Well, I'm afraid there isn't time to visit, Rabbi. I've just learned that a mob of young hoodlums are on their way to smash up your temple.
What?
I believe we can still head them off if we hurry.
That letter I received, it warned me about this. Lord in heaven, isn't anything sacred to those people?
Evidently not. I suggest we get right over to the temple. Now, if you'll just swing your arm around my neck.
Around you? We're going to fly?
Faster than you've ever flown before. You're not afraid, are you?
Afraid? Why, you know... you've never dropped anyone, have you?
Oh, not yet. And I certainly don't intend to start with a clergyman. Are you all set?
I guess so.
Good. Up and away!
Oh. You say you saw them as we were flying over?
Yes, they were just turning the corner of Lorimer Street. You having trouble with that key?
I've been complaining about this lock for almost a year. One of these days, I'm going to get a screwdriver and fix it myself. There, finally. I'll turn the light on.
No, wait a minute. No light.
You can't see a thing in here. It's pitch dark.
Remember who I am?
Well, of course. Sorry, I stepped right into that one. You can see in the dark, can't you?
Almost as well as I can in daylight. Comes in handy now and then.
I should think so. Well, how do we handle this? How many of them are there?
There are 4. All youngsters, 16, 17. The leader is a boy named Muggs.
Where did you learn all this?
I get around. Now tell me, what would be the easiest way for them to get in here?
Well, break one of the windows and climb in, I guess.
I doubt whether they do that. Too much noise.
Well, then they'd have to jimmy one of the doors. Oh? Either the front door or the side door.
That sounds like it's a side door. That's the one we came in, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, we'll let them force it. You say the lock needs repairing anyway. Once they're inside, we'll...
You mean I will?
All 4?
Well, I did a little boxing at college. I can still throw a few punches.
Sounds funny coming from a rabbi.
Do you know Francis Sheehan, Father Sheehan at St. Catherine's?
Sure, of course I do.
He was an All-American tackle for Holy Cross, you know. And he can lick his weight in Wildcat.
Oh, I didn't know.
When we're not busy during the summer, he and I run up to the Y gym and we do a little sparring. Look, don't ever tell him I told you, but he's a sucker for a left hook.
I won't say a word.
You know, that's the trouble with a lot of people. They think religious leaders are a bunch of stuffed shirts. Maybe they used to be, but they're not now. Take a fellow like Leeds at the Methodist Church. He played pro ball to earn enough money to go through seminary. Now he coaches the church team, and believe me, his club can lick the pants off half the college teams in the state. And on top of that, he's a good preacher and a good minister and a regular guy.
Well, it sounds like a combination you can't beat.
You can't. And if more people got to know their priest or their minister or their rabbi, they'd soon find out how regular they are, especially youngsters. Now, take these 4 hoodlums we're waiting for.
Hold it. Get ready to take them. They're here.
Where?
Where we figured they'd be, at the side door. You hear them?
Yes.
They're working on the door, forcing the lock.
Now maybe I'll get a new one.
Well, since you're going to do the honors, Rabbi, I'd better duck down behind one of the pews.
How far do you want me to go with them?
Oh, not too far. Just give them a light thrashing. I want them scared more than anything else. Are you sure you can handle all 4?
If I can't, I'm slowing up, but I'll need light.
Okay. I'll stand by at the switch, and once they're all inside, I'll flip it.
Won't they see you?
I move pretty fast. I'll be down behind a pew before they can blink. Hold it now. Heard the door creak. Yes, they're getting it open. Watch it.
Right.
Okay, you guys. Come on. Okay. Close the door, let's see. Yeah. Light a match, Joe. Let's see where we are. Right.
I'll show you where it is.
What the... Light, camera, action!
Blinded momentarily by the lights flooding from the ceiling of the temple vestry, Muggs and his three companions blink in amazement at the unexpected reception. Crouching low behind the pew, Superman looks on smiling as the fighting young rabbi moves in to give the hoodlums the thrashing they deserve. But unknown even to the man of steel, tragedy may soon wipe the smile from his lips. We'll be back in a moment to learn what happened. So keep listening.
Gang, you've probably learned in school how important the sun is to the earth. But you know how important it is to you? How it makes vitamin D for you that helps you grow up with strong bones and teeth? And you know that you get your whole daily minimum need of Sunshine Vitamin D in your 1-ounce serving of Kellogg's Pep. Yes, sir. And this sunny golden toasted cereal brings you more than twice as much vitamin B1 and energy vitamin as in sun-ripened whole wheat. Pep gives you loads of doggone good eating, too. Sunshine flavor and crisp goodness. So it's no wonder you want to eat up every last spoonful in your bowl. And a good thing, that is, especially nowadays when there are fellas and girls going hungry overseas. You see, the cereal grains, like the famous whole wheat and Kellogg's Pep, have been picked out to help feed those hungry children. So it wouldn't do for us to waste. Keep that in mind when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's. If you pour your own cereal, pour it carefully and eat up every bit you pour out. Tell the rest of your family to be careful, too. Taking care of waste here is helping to take care of hungry children over there.
Insisting on handling Muggs and his three pool-room companions himself, young Rabbi Stone, one of the members of the Unity House Committee marked for violence, faces the four hoodlums in the vestry of his temple. Closing in, he grabs Muggs by the scruff of the neck.
Why, you dirty...
Maybe if someone had paid some attention to you 10 years ago, wouldn't be breaking into churches and temples now. Joe! Jump! Yeah, oh, no, you don't. Any jumping to do, I'll do it.
The shivs, Lefty. Lefty, the shivs.
Come on. Fight, you cowards. Come on in and fight.
All right, you close in. Get him.
That's what you think.
Okay, Lefty. Now.
That does it. Let's scram. Come on.
Well, that was short and sweet. Nice work, Rabbi.
I didn't see the knife.
Didn't see... Knife? Great Scott, you've been stabbed.
The one he called Lefty. He had it in his sleeve.
Oh, how did I miss it?
He said Shiv. Shiv must mean knife.
You're in a bad way. I better get you to a doctor.
With an ever-widening circle of telltale red marking his white shirt, the young rabbi gasps and collapses in Superman's arms. Another victim of hate and prejudice. Has Muggs gone too far this time? Is it murder? Gang, Monday's episode is tense and exciting as Superman, angered as he has never been before, moves heaven and earth to get his hands on the Hate Mongers responsible for this latest act of murderous violence. But something happens. Something that even he cannot foresee. So be sure to hear Monday's episode entitled Rats Have Sharp Teeth.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Say, if you want your dog to tag right along with the gang, if you want him to be strong and husky, don't let him eat just to fill up. Mix the scraps of meat and fat in with Kellogg's Grow Pup dog food. Then just see if you don't get congratulations on what a fine dog you have. Grow Pup has what it takes to help keep a dog hitting on all fours, and it's full of swell, meaty flavor dogs like. Besides, there are 3 different kinds of Grow Pup. Grow Pup Ribbon, Grow Pup Meal, and Grow Pup Pellets. Ask Mother to start feeding your dog Kellogg's Grow Pup today. And be sure to be with us on Monday for the thrilling adventures of Superman.
This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
And now, it's time for a Condensed Bat-Supe Extra Helping. Because sometimes heroes wear spurs. This extra helping features a man called Paladin fighting for tolerance at Christmas in an episode of Have Gun Will Travel titled The Hanging Cross. This episode was written by Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry and was originally broadcast on December 21st, 1958.
In all my life, I've only seen a dozen real killers. But I've seen 10,000 people who'll sit back and let murder happen. Which is the greater evil?
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Paladin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stanford. Pardon me.
Yes.
You dropped these by the desk.
Oh, thank you very much.
The glove that holds a lady's hand holds a world of prettiness.
Really?
Yes. My name is...
I am not interested in your name. I don't wish to know it. I don't wish to know you. And if I did, this would not be the day, the hour, nor the place.
I quite understand.
Then if you will kindly release my hand.
Oh, of course.
Again, thank you very much.
Oh, pretty lady, not too impressed with Mr. Paladin.
We are all entitled to mistakes, hey boy.
Oh, yes, but how often?
Seldom, the time, the place, and the loved one all together.
And husband make 3. Telegram come for you.
Oh?
Answer?
Yes. Wire back. Have gun. Will travel.
Crime, delinquency, threats of war. These are the subjects that dominate our news headlines these days. Not very pleasant subjects, are they? You may say that somebody ought to do something about cutting down on crime and delinquency and in promoting peace among nations, but that there's nothing you personally can do about it. That's where you're wrong. You can wage your own fight against crime and delinquency in your own family by taking the family to the church or synagogue of your faith this week. The inspiration and guidance you and they will receive from spiritual contact will strengthen moral background and faith. Regular attendance at religious services will help your family to work out its own problems and give them comfort in facing the tensions of our present-day life. Worshipping together brings your family closer together, too. And supporting your own religious institution provides funds to help those individuals and families who, unlike you, are unable to help themselves. Find the strength for your life. Worship together this week.
In a way, I was sorry to leave San Francisco just as Christmas was coming on. The shop windows, already frosted, were filled with all those wonderful surprises which seemed to appear only at the Christmas season. And there was an excitement in the eyes of passers-by, young and old alike. In the air, there was the smell of cookies and cakes and candies. It was a good time to be in San Francisco. And yet the telegram from Colorado Territory left me little choice. It was a long trip and a cold one. And as I got closer to my destination, I heard more about the man named Beecher, the man who had hired me. And I didn't like what I heard. Matt Beecher was a hard man, and he ran his cattle empire with an iron fist. It was the day before Christmas when I arrived at the Beecher Ranch.
You got business here, cowboy?
I was told I'd find Matthew Beecher here.
You found him. I pay you $25 a month if I like your work. This is my foreman, Tater. He'll sign you on. Howdy.
No, I didn't come here to hire on as a hand, Mr. Beecher.
Oh, what did you come for, then?
My name is Paladin. You may remember this.
Have gun will travel. So?
Well, you sent me a wire. Asking my help, something about your boy. As I understand it, he was carried off during the Sioux War 6 years ago.
Well, you're too late, mister. I got him back.
Just a few days ago, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, well, I'm glad everything worked out.
It has. Tater, ride him out to the stage trail. He's going to start back now.
And Mr. Beecher, it's a long trip from San Francisco. I'll take travel expenses for my trouble.
You'll get nothing. Put him off the ranch, Tater.
Mr. Beecher?
What?
Does the boy speak any English?
No, he don't. Why?
You speak any Indian dialects?
No.
Well, don't you want to talk to your son?
You speak the Pawnee dialect?
Some.
All right, Tater. Take him up to the main house. We'll talk about them expenses later.
Yes, sir. Come on, Mr. Paladin. Maybe I better set you straight about something.
What's that?
Well, we ain't too sure the boy is Matt Beecher's son.
Well, he seems sure enough.
Yeah, well, Matt's sure of everything. He found the boy riding off from a small band of Pawnees 3-4 days ago. Matt just says, "That's my boy," and takes him.
Huh. What do you think, Tater?
Well, he looks Indian to me. Of course, Robbie was only 2 when the Indians took him. That was when they killed Mrs. Beecher, too. And that nearly finished Matt off when they killed his wife.
Tater, is that you?
Yep. Mr. Paladin, this here's my wife, Maudie.
Maudie?
Mr. Paladin?
How's the boy today, Maudie?
Same as yesterday and the day before.
Is he sick?
Well, not hardly. It's just we got to keep an eye on him every minute or he'll squirt away. Boy! Hey, boy! There he is, Mr. Paladin. About as wild as any animal that I've ever seen.
Poor little thing.
Well, what do you think?
Well, about 8 years old, I should think.
Be about right.
He could be white. If some of that grime were scraped off him, it's hard to say.
Hard to scrape it off, too.
Well, what's he say?
I haven't talked to him yet, Mr. Beecher.
Well, talk to him. I'm paying you.
Kono la teshi. Shishoni, shoni kiburi, kiman.
Siwa, kalate shishona kyo. Tekate.
His name is Chiwa. His father is Kalate, chief of the Pawnees.
You listen to me, boy. I'm your daddy. I'd sell my own soul. I'd give it away before I'd lose you again.
He don't understand you, Mr. Beecher.
Well, he's got to feel something this strong, lingo or no lingo. Now, boy, you listen to me.
Tika, tika.
What's the matter with him?
He's afraid of you.
Miss Beecher! Mr. Beecher!
What do you want?
It's Indians, Mr. Beecher.
Indians.
Pawnees.
Well, what about them?
Well, they're setting up camp.
Where?
They're over on the East Range.
So they finally come for the boy. All right, Tater.
Yes, sir.
Turn the men out. Make sure they all have rifles.
Yes, sir.
Now, wait a minute.
What?
Before you start shooting, why don't you find out for sure if this really is your boy?
I told you before, I know he's my boy.
You want to believe that, but you aren't sure.
All right, Paladin, say it out. What are you asking for?
Time to talk with those Pawnees.
Well, you go talk then, but I'll tell you one thing for sure. No matter what lies they give you, that boy's mine. And if they try to come after him, there'll be the bloodiest massacre you ever seen.
Of all leading filters, cigarettes, Kent filters best, Kent filters best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent, Kent filters best. Of all of the brands of cigarettes, Kent tastes the best, Kent tastes the best. A richer taste than all the rest, Kent filters best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent. Of all leading filter cigarettes, Kent filters best.
I rode out to the Pawnee camp knowing I had little time and less chance to stop a needless killing. There were squaws, braves, sitting, wandering. There were a hungry people and a lost people. At a tattered teepee, I found Kalete, chief of the Pawnees.
Kalate was Once man who greeted white man like brother. Now he wanders, hungry, forgotten like the gray wolf.
I'm sorry. I wondered why Kalate was on this trail.
White man steal children.
Kalate will agree. A man may claim his own son.
She was my son.
Is he white?
She was my son.
I ask again, is he white?
Skin is leather bag God made to hold the soul. Color of bag no matter. He was traded from the Sioux. Our blood has mixed.
But his is white.
He is my son. I take him back.
Kalate, if you take the boy, there'll be killing. This white man has many rifles.
Can rifles kill what has been killed already? Look at my camp. When there is no game, my people starve. We are driven from land, and winter is here. But we move no more. We stay here. Soon we take my son.
Hello, Marty.
Hello, Mr. Paladin.
Well, what's going on inside there?
Oh, everyone's shining up clean. We're going to celebrate Christmas, Mr. Beecher, too.
Mr. Beecher?
Well, I know you won't believe it, but Tater did the trick. Says to Mr. Beecher, maybe the boy'll remember Christmas. Ain't that a good one? Indian boy bringing us Christmas. First time since Mr. Beecher lost his wife. Oh, gotta find some more mesquite for decorating. We're gonna have singing and eating and everything.
Sounds fine, Marty.
Well, Paladin, you see the chief?
I talked to him.
What'd he say?
He's your son.
I told you he was. You tell them Injuns to get their squaws and their tents off my property?
No.
Why not? You want them all killed?
I want you to understand that Chief Kalate feels that the boy is his son, too, and he feels it very strongly. If you talk to him, I'd be glad to act as interpreter.
The only way I'll talk to him and his flea-bitten braves is with rifle fire.
Listen, Beecher. Chief Kalate is the only father the boy has ever known. You kill him. How are you going to explain that to the boy?
You speak Pawnee. You can explain it.
You're wrong, Mr. Beecher.
Yeah?
I couldn't explain that in any language.
Tater, I said rations, not all these fancy victuals.
Well, it's Christmas, Mr. Beecher.
Now, look. Listen to me, all of you. Listen. If one calf wanders off tonight, we work double tomorrow, even if it is Christmas Day.
All right, boys. The cider's sitting over there just a-waiting. It can't get no stouter, so get to it.
Tater!
Maudie, what is it?
The boy's gone.
Gone?
They come and took him.
Was it the Pawnees took him?
Yes, sir.
You knew about this, Paladin.
I thought they'd try, but not so soon.
Get your rifles.
Now, just wait a minute. You're always reaching for a rifle. There's no need for rifles. No hurry. The Pawnees aren't going anywhere. They're tired of running.
Preaching from a gunslinger. You just been aching to speak a piece. Well, speak it, Paladin. Talk don't mean nothing. Say anything you want. I'll still have the last say.
Well, I'm far from being a preacher. But I do know something about killing. Now, these Indians, rightly or wrongly, believe the boy is theirs. And few people love children like the Pawnees. Now, the Chief Kalate might have given up the boy. He knows a wealthy rancher could give the boy more than a starving Indian could, and they're starving. Properly treated, he still might give up the boy. On the other hand, these Pawnees can't run anymore. They're tired. But they would rather die here tonight than give up the child to force. It won't be hard to massacre them. They have no guns. All you have to do is stay out of arrow range. And those you only wound, well, someone will have to press a muzzle against their heads and pull a trigger. Now, this is no Christmas message. I haven't even suggested that to a starving man, food may carry more weight than rifles. As Mr. Beecher can tell you, sentiments like peace, like goodwill, and love, and brotherhood, they're just words. unless you already know what they mean. And if you don't, even if this were a chapel and I were a preacher, such words would do no good.
Well, I ain't got much to say. We're going out to kill some Injuns. One Injun in particular. Anybody that wants can stay here and draw his time, if you think you can find another job. And those who ain't going with me, speak up. Right now. Well, that's the story since the beginning, Mr. Paladin. The belly always wins out.
My dear Watson, with all due respect to Sherlock Holmes, let us establish one fact clearly. There is nothing elementary about the shrewd deductions Eric Severide makes as he analyzes world affairs on CBS Radio. As chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, Mr. Severide has open to him almost every possible source of information. Experience has sharpened his perspective and given him an extraordinary working knowledge of the forces that make history. It's taught him to view each new development in terms of cause and effect. Each Monday through Friday night, as you join Eric Severide on most of these same stations, you'll find his news analysis remarkably free of snap judgments and predetermined conclusions. You'll discover, too, that his carefully considered appraisals of the news not only contain real clues as to what is going on in the world, but also they make the news as exciting as any Arthur Conan Doyle story.
As Beecher's men spilled out of the doorway of the main house to change clothes and get their rifles, I slipped out the back way and, taking the first horse I saw, headed for the Indian camp. Somehow I had to keep Matt Beecher from starting a bloodbath he might not be able to stop. Even as Kalati and I talked, I knew there were horses moving in the darkness beyond the Indians' fires. Beecher's horses.
You are a wise man, my son, but we stay.
A man without a gun still might run.
No place to run. I have forgotten how to kill, but not how to die.
What good does this do the boy?
Could he take another father after this?
We got the camp surrounded. You want to explain that to the chief, Paladin?
He knows it.
You going to stand with them instead of with your own people? I asked you a question.
I heard you.
Tater? Hold up, Tater!
Women.
Hold your fire, boys. That's Morty.
Women, what are they doing here?
Mr. Paladin!
Over here, Maudie.
We got food and things for them Indians. There's 15 or 20 of us. Is it all right to come in there?
It's the most all right thing in the world, Maudie. Come on.
All right, ladies. Get your baskets and get it.
What is?
Call your squaws, Chief. Call your children. Call the boy. They're bringing food and gifts for your people.
Shiva, Holonge, Honemo.
Well, they don't look very friendly, Mr. Paladin.
I guess you don't look very friendly to them.
What do we say?
Oh. I'd suggest you try Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas?
To Christmas.
Maudie, this is Kalate. He's the chief of the Pawnees.
How do you do?
Oh.
I only got one pair of hands. Here, you take this basket.
Hold on there, Morty. I'm with you.
Hello, Tater.
Hello, Mr. Paladin.
I come in too, Mr. Paladin.
Well, Pete.
Now, what Beecher's doing is wrong, and I don't care if I do get fired.
Well, look, Mr. Paladin, all the men are coming in.
Why, Morty, you ain't rightly dressed for riding.
Well, none of us took time to change, but you sure don't have to look.
Well, Chief, there'll be no bloodletting tonight.
Christmas?
That's right. They call it Christmas. It's a time of the year when people pretend there is no evil in the world.
Yeah, I like.
Everybody likes. What about the boy, Chief? His name is Robbie Beecher. His skin is white. Chief?
My boy.
His boy, Chief. You can return the seed to the plant that bore it. He can't take it, nor can I, nor can anyone.
I talk to boy.
I'll talk to his father.
Hold it, Paladin. Right there.
He'll give you the boy, Beecher.
What?
You can take him home tonight. The chief is talking to him now, telling him that you're his father.
I'll kill you, Paladin, if this is some kind of way of getting back at me. When do I get my boy?
I haven't been paid yet. $1,000 cash.
Well, I haven't got it with me.
Well, when can you have it?
Tomorrow?
Then give it to the chief so he can buy some land for himself and his people.
I'll do better than that. I'll give him some land. I feel like I should give something.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
As a matter of fact, it is.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Beecher.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, we saw Paladin.
Good afternoon, hey boy.
When you come back?
Last night, late. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, no. Wait, not her. You met her once, remember?
I remember. She's always dropping her glove.
Oh, too bad I eat trouble. Oh.
I beg your pardon. You dropped your glove.
Oh, so I did.
May I pick it up?
You may.
Thank you. Allow me to introduce myself.
Well, please do.
My name is Paladin.
My name is Eugenie Meyer, Mr. Paladin.
Oh. There's a princess named Eugenie.
I'd rather hear about that glove that holds a lady's hand.
Holds a world of prettiness?
Yes. I like that beginning better. Is there more?
Oh, there's a great deal more, I assure you. But one question. Why the change of heart?
Well, it's more a change of mind. The change of heart can come later.
But why? You were very confident in your rejection the last time we met.
Well, you were very confident of yourself, Mr. Paladin. Christmas seems to have humbled you. And me.
Then we're both very fortunate. Now we can meet.
Yes.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, and stars John Daner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Gene Roddenberry and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Vic Perrin, Jess Kirkpatrick, Roy Woods, Richard Beals, Ann Morrison, and Virginia Christine. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
That wraps up the 100th episode of the Bat-Supe podcast in the form of Condensed Bat-Supe, featuring 2 more parts of the Hate Mongers organization from the adventures of Superman. Thanks for listening. Be sure to tell your friends to subscribe to Bat-Supe on their favorite podcatcher. We can also be found on YouTube and Facebook. If you like what you're hearing, you can support Bat-Supe at buymeacoffee.com. Keep us ad-free by surfing into buymeacoffee.com/BATSUPE. And we thank you. We'll see you next time for another exciting edition of Condensed Bat-Supe as we bring you more of our current storyline and another fine Bat-Supe Extra Helping. Until then, up, and away!
Truth is stranger than fiction. This is the proof. This is Ripley's. Believe it or not.
In December 1940, Mrs. A.E. Gadsby of Niagara Falls, Canada,
mailed a Christmas parcel to her daughter in Prestwick, Scotland. The ship carrying the mails was torpedoed off the west coast of Ireland, but a favorable tide floated the package and unerringly cast it ashore on the beach of Prestwick. The contents were soaked, but perfectly usable. The address was still legible, and the package was delivered 2 days after Christmas. Believe it or not.